Hi, I'm Heidi. Welcome to my kitchen. So we are going to be making a Jamaican oxtail recipe. I have everything laid out for what we're going to be doing. This recipe has a lot of ingredients in it. So instead of laying out all of the spices, because there's about 30 different spices in this recipe, I put them all into one garlic and herb seasoning mix, which is going to be laid out in the description for you. So you can check the description, get all of the ingredients for that garlic and herb seasoning, and get that into your recipe. So I'm going to start out working with these habaneros. We are going to tone down the spice in the habaneros using some alcohol and some oil. A little trick that I've learned with my own research. Habaneros are very, very spicy. They're one of the higher peppers on the Scoville rating. So I live with people that cannot handle spice, so I'm going to be toning the spice down on them a lot. And to do that, we can use a little bit of vodka and some oil. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that as we get into this. So we're going to start out taking the seeds out of these peppers, but the seeds are not entirely where all the spice is. It's actually in these little ribs in here. So we're going to take these out. And habaneros are very thin, so the little ribs on them are pretty thin. And when you work with peppers, I always recommend wearing gloves because you don't want to end up getting pepper oil in your eyes or on your skin. You will regret it. You'd think with 5 habaneros, the dish is going to be extremely spicy, but in actuality, if you tone the spice down, you will get all of the flavor of the habaneros without the spice. You just have to know how to cut the spice out. And so then what we're going to do is we're going to take these guys, and what I'm going to do is you take them, you smother them in oil, and they've got these little blisters on the inside of them, and you just kind of rub those little blisters out. Take those little blisters out. You get some chunks of habanero. It will kind of break down the habanero, but it's okay if we break it down because it's going in for flavor. So we take it and we rub the blisters out of it. We toss them in there. Just bear in mind when you do this, you will have very spicy oil and very spicy alcohol. So if you want to make yourself a spicy margarita later, you can. Now normally in this recipe calls for a Scotch Bonnet. Scotch Bonnets are incredibly hard to get, so we're using 5 habaneros instead. And oh, my alcohol. I've got 1 shot left. Need to buy some more booze. So now I'm going to season my oxtail. A tablespoon of garlic and herb seasoning. So all the garlic and herb seasoning that we did. About a teaspoon of salt. And we're gonna give this the toss. And we want our oxtail to be coated. And this is going into a broth. So these can be rough chopped. And the carrots you do not need to peel because they're going into a broth. There's no need to worry about peeling carrots that are going into a broth that are going to be strained out anyway. And you can leave the leaves on the lettuce. Onion again is going to be a rough chop because it's going into a broth. Just take the ends off. And usually what I do is just move. And that's good enough for the onion. Put this over. All this is going to go in. And I'm going to cut it right here. And this whole thing is going to go in. As we're going to brown our oxtail. They're looking nice and brown, nice and toasty. I want them to look nice and caramelized. Also leaves a nice caramel layer in there of flavor. So it leaves all that flavor in there. And brown our garlic. A sprig of rosemary. A couple sprigs of thyme. And add in some beef stock. A tablespoon of Lea & Perrins Worcestershire sauce, tablespoon of soy sauce, a tablespoon of browning, a couple of bay leaves, usually throw 2 or 3 in there. A handful of black peppercorns. And I'm also going to put another cup of water in there, just to give it a little bit more depth. And we're going to put these guys back in.
So life has taught me to be defined by me. Now I understand that. I am free.
And last but not least, we're going to add in our habaneros, which at this point have been soaking. So they're not going to be super spicy. So we're going to add in our habaneros. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring this up to a boil. Turn it up on high. So we're going to let that cook for about 5 hours now. Pull it off of here. So this is our oxtail. And take this off the stove. What we're going to do is we're going to take this over. We're going to strain this. And take this over here. It's back in here. Now a lot of the liquid drained off, so I'm gonna add some more beef stock just to thicken it up. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring that up to a boil. I've got some cornstarch and water here, and when this comes up to a boil, we are gonna add the cornstarch and water to the liquid. And I'm gonna taste this. The flavor is really nice on that. You want it to be boiling before you add cornstarch, because the boiling is what activates the cornstarch. If it's not boiling, your cornstarch is gonna goop up. Now we can add our cornstarch. And we stir that in right away, and it should start thickening right away. And if it gets too thick, we just add more stock. And if it's not thick enough, we just add more cornstarch. It should thicken up to a nice gravy consistency. That's perfect. We're gonna add our butter beans into that. And we're gonna let that cook for about 5 minutes just to heat up those beans. About 2 tablespoons of butter. We're gonna throw that in here. And we're gonna stir this in. And this is just gonna give it kind of a glistening consistency. We're just gonna stir this butter in, let it melt into there. We can put these back in. I'm gonna try this Jamaican oxtail. I'm gonna try a little bit of the broth first. That is really good. It's not spicy at all. The habaneros left a really nice flavor without overpowering the dish. Really delicious. The butter beans are perfect. I'm gonna try a little bit of the oxtail. It's like falling off the bone here. Cooked perfectly. It's delicious. It's absolutely delicious. Perfectly cooked Jamaican oxtail.
Thanks for watching. The full recipe is below in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe so that you can get access to new content every week. And we will see you next time.